Hello folks, welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. I am currently imaging the sun live, and I'm going to take you to a screen share and hopefully show you what I'm looking at. There you go. The scene isn't that great, but I haven't had good scene in such a long time. I've gotten used to it. Closing some windows that you can't see. First thing I want to do is to show you why I am located right here on the sun and have framed the image so far. Let me move north a little bit. I'm using this sunspot that's about to rotate out of view as my reference point for my crosshairs in this frame. Let's see, we need to move east a little bit and then south. If I overexpose this, which is what I intend to do when I process, you're going to see, along with that sunspot, some pretty wicked looking stuff going on the rim of the sun. And I'm hoping to get this activity in my time lapse. And the only way you know is to do one. And so I'm planning on taking 300 frames. Each frame will be 300 AVI files. 300 video files, and each video file will have 1,000 frames. I'll keep 10 or 15% of those frames, stack those in Autostakkert, then move into Imppg for sharpening, then use Imppg for rough alignment. Then I'll even jump way ahead to PIPP to see if the GIF file result is some movement that's worth processing. If it is, then I go back to the aligned files and I take those into PixInsight for some coloration, further sharpening if needed, and cropping. Or I could take them into Lightroom and do the same. But I probably would use PixInsight. Then I would also do a final blink through the images, getting rid of any obvious rejects. Soft images I usually leave. I just don't keep all the, at one point in time I was deleting everything but the very sharpens, but now I don't. And but if I've got some that are just too soft or they're way out of whack, location wise, I just delete those. It just makes stacking software a massive challenge. So let me bring my gain way back down to about 105. 109 is fine. Let's bring our exposure up a little bit. I like to keep the gain around 100 just to minimize the grain. Specifically, I'm taking 1,000 frames, but I'm only going to keep 10%, 100 or 150 of those, so I don't want them grainy. I could take you further around the sun to see what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and well, let's do it. We can come back here. Let's go one way. Let's go around the sun here, and we'll come back. And let's stop here and see if there's any prom activity. Not really. So there'd be no point in I'm going to move this down to 16 sidereal so we can get going. Now this is pretty cool here, and there might be some lights that show up movement here, and so let's see if there's any activity on the surface, on the rim. Here's a little, but that's my second favorite place to go so far. Let's continue up. let's head over the other way. And let's see if the surface rim has any. There's a little spike on the rim. That's my wife you're hearing. We got a chilly morning. Some nice filaments. Let's see if there's anything on the surface. Yep. But nothing quite so remarkable as what's going on down here. So I'm going to go back and reframe. On my sunspot and start my time lapse. Try to get it centered here. The reason why I've put the crosshairs here, because this is the framing, and I've centered on this sunspot, which I think will be here throughout the entire time lapse. So this will be a reference point for my own hands-on alignment. I want all of the 300 video files to be as closely aligned to these crosshairs, this sunspot, as possible, so that when I finally do stack in Autostakkert and move to Imppg for sharpening and alignment, there won't be much cropping, because I don't want to lose anything if I can help it. I want the whole, I want to see this whole thing first. I may later do some cropping, but I doubt it. At any rate, I've already drifted to the east. I got to move back west and north and back west a little bit. All right, so let's go up to capture. By the way, I've gone to files already. File, Sharpcap settings. I've gone to file names, and I've created a new folder for my time lapse. So let's get started. Capture, start capture. This is going to be solar time lapse, and we want 1,000 frames. We want it 300 long. I think I want 30 seconds between intervals. I want to take a longer interval for this. So let me see how close I am. That's fine. Let's get started. So we're knocking off our first AVI file. Oh, I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to cancel. I'm going to open up my folder, and I want to make sure that my hard drive's got plenty of room. Actually, I'm going to delete this one and this one because I only have 1 terabyte of space, and I'm going to delete this one too. All right, so we should have ample space. All right, let's recenter. Let's head north a little bit. Too far, overshot. Let's change this back to 8 times sidereal so it won't go crazy when it finally connects and gets rid of the backlash. All right, so we got to set this up all over again. Solar time lapse, 1,000 frames. I tell you what, let's go. Let's stick. That's fine. 1,000 frames. So let's start. And we're capturing our first. I do want to go up to, and I'll delete this first one because this first one was only a few seconds. And we're off and running. So we're currently looking at a live view of the sun, and we have a countdown of 30 seconds. That gives you plenty of time to recenter your mount if you need to. Okay, we're starting our next. Also, if you have any screen buffering necessary, that gives you plenty of time to manipulate that. Need to move north a little bit. Okie doke. So right now we are live doing a time lapse. I have a transit around 1:30. I'll stop then, and I will. I'm going to focus my Solar Scout, and I plan to put my Nikon D800E camera on it. Right now it has an ASI 224 camera, but I'm going to put the Nikon D800E Astro camera. It takes great video, and I'm going to see how that works. It's going to get the entire disc, which I'm looking forward to. We have a promise of great skies. I'm going to have to move up a little bit. I've lost my, and we're going to go east now. Okay. We're counting down between frames, 14, 13 seconds. Take you outside and show you what I'm dealing with. There we go. Now we're live. This is hard to see. This is the current telescope system that's imaging. I have two barbecue covers temporarily. I use telegizmos, but these cameras are ready to image. I've got laptops covered up with a towel, and I thought I would get some imaging in last night, but I didn't, so I closed the observatory. Our HOA doesn't allow for outbuildings, so I'm improvised, and this is a poor man's observatory. I don't really think now I want an outbuilding. I keep two pier mounted, these are pier mounted systems. I keep them up all the time. The telegizmos protect them year round, 24/7. Super recommend those covers. The telegizmo 365s. There's one laying on the ground that I use to cover up this one. But I've got you'd have to build a monster observatory to have plenty of room to put 3 permanent kits up. So, and I wouldn't have done that. The slide off roof, which was what I would pretty much have to have, would be almost as big as my house. So that's not an option. Let's go back out here. I'm going to need to reposition and move east a little. Nope, wrong way. west, north. Too much. There we go. 7 seconds left. If you're just tuning in, we're doing a live time lapse of the sun. What you can't see, unless you've been with me from the beginning, are some very pronounced solar flaring going up on the surface, on the rim of the sun. And when I process this and I'm done, you'll be able to see both. There's also some activity over here, some nice filaments here and here and here, and they have a tendency throughout a time lapse to move or show movement. As most of you know, if you followed my channel, this telescope is far from being polar aligned, so I have drift and RA and deck both. The deck is primarily due to backlash and polar alignment. The RA is just mount. It's a Celestron AVX. Okay. About 1 out of every 10 or 15 of these time lapses that I do, you'll see a jet fly through. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. After it finishes this sequence, I'm going to see if I can't get the sharpening a little better. But seeing is not good. You can see the wavy. Let's scroll down a little bit, bring up my focuser. Let's go out. Actually, that's better. That's 10 steps out. I think it's a little better. Let's move up a little bit. Let's go north and east. Recenter. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Capture. 1,000 frames. Here's the progress bar over here. This is my Moonlight focuser control. This is my Celestron AVX Ascon control. This is another control created by Ascon. These controls control your exposure, gain. And it's capture time again. So I will be babysitting this mount. And 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30 for the next 3 hours. Now, because I'm live, that's all I'm doing is I'm on here with you guys running the show. But as soon as I end this live view of the sun, I plan to turn on a little television off to the side here, and I'll have a little entertainment while I go through emails and do some other things. And we're going to go south a little bit. Okay, 5 seconds to go until the next capture. And here we go. I just did a video on how I process my time lapses. It's I did it 3 or 4 days ago. It's way too long. You have to kind of scrub through it. I think it's an hour and something long. I don't know how to do anything short. I applaud all those who do, but I don't know how. Oh. So all of my videos that I do, they just seem to last a long time. But it takes a while to do a time lapse. It's not a... And if you're going to process an image in PixInsight or Photoshop, you got to take some time to do it. I would have a hard time watching one of my videos. I can't do them after I've never, and I know there's a lot of mistakes, and I get my words out of sorts, and say frame when I mean video, say video when I mean frame. Just so, and I know I'm not going to redo it. So, folks, I think I'm going to let you go. This is a live view stuff of the sun, and we're going to call it a day. Thanks for joining me. If you want to see more of these live view shows, I plan on being live tonight again when I do some deep space imaging. I'm going to be using 2 telescopes. One's going to be actually doing a trial run on the moon, as I've been approved by NASA, or NASA actually reached out to me, and I filled out an application, and I'm going to be streaming a live view of the solar eclipse this coming Sunday night, and my stream's going to go through the NASA website. So that was pretty cool. So Sunday night, if you want to see what I'm doing, and assuming we have clear skies, NASA asked me to be online even if I have clouds. unless it's totally overcast and raining, something like that. So I plan to be online Sunday night, this coming Sunday night, May the 15th, for the lunar eclipse. And there you go, I said solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Yeah. So be sure you think it's like 6 days from now. And with that being said, be sure to subscribe and like the video if you would. If you do, if you don't, then don't. And let me know and what you like and what you don't like, and I'll try to accommodate the masses. All 121 subscribers. That's kind of laughable, but again, it's probably due to my communication weaknesses. And so, anyway, y'all have a great day. Make sure you try to make somebody else have a great day. Be good to everybody, and we'll catch you later.